Hey guys, welcome back to Turn the Tables. This is our third episode, special edition, Super Bowl edition. I'm here with my uncle, Bobby. Say hi, Bobby.
What's up, guys?
And today we will be making our predictions, everything we think is going to happen for the Super Bowl. Patriots versus Rams, 2019, Super Bowl 53. Okay, so I personally think the Patriots are going to win. How are you feeling about this?
I have to say I'm a little biased on this, being a Jets fan. I know. But I have to agree. At the end of the day, they just always figure out a way to come through. So that's my prediction as well. I'll tell you guys at the end my scoring prediction. But,
yeah, we both have scoring predictions, and we'll talk about that at the end. I have a couple notes that I will talk about, just, the reason why I think the Patriots are going to win. So first, we'll start with the Patriots have a top 10 scoring defense, and Jared Goff is 5-6 against top 10 scoring defenses. So as a rookie, he's still trying to get used to the NFL, the new defenses he's running into. And I guess top 10 scoring defenses, he doesn't get that.
That's a good point, but at the end of the day, I think that they're not going to lean too much on Goff. I think that I know that Gurley's 100%. Sean McVay's come out and said he's 100%. There's not going to be any restrictions on him. So I honestly think I know the Patriots' defense, run defense, is a little bit better than what the Rams have faced, but I honestly think Todd Gurley is going to come out and be one of the main staples in this game. They're gonna use him as a workhorse and just play off of him basically. So I think that's going to be key to the game.
That's what I was thinking, but I mean, is he really 100% after that knee injury? Because I mean, it's a knee and he's a running back.
I get it.
Even speaking on that, we have Melvin. They went against Melvin Gordon in the first game against the Chargers. Melvin Gordon, top 10 running back. He was held down to under 30 yards. And then you have the Chiefs running back, who he's not a Kareem Hunt, but he was still a new guy, and he could only run for 40-something.
Again, Melvin Gordon had a pretty serious injury towards the end of the season. And I don't think Melvin Gordon was 100% towards the end of the season. So I think that played a key factor in his production. And obviously the Chiefs, they're just so dynamic. I mean, I know they had to fill holes at the running back position, but they weren't facing their star running back. So take it for what it is.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But, I mean, you can't lie. The Patriots' run defense is probably better this year than they've had in a long time. Because before, even with the Eagles, J.J. ran up and down on them. And I feel like it's going to be... I mean, don't get me wrong, Tucker is the best running back in the NFL. So he's going to get yards. But I don't think he's going to be getting the yards he would have if they would be facing the Patriots maybe 2
Well, you have to remember, Belichick is a mastermind. So he's going to figure out a way to... stuff the middle, and again, the Rams' wide receiving core is without Cooper Kupp, so that's gonna kind of sort of play a role. He was a big time receiver for them through the middle, and stuffing the run and not being able to do that play action quick pass to Cooper Kupp is a little bit gonna be a little difficult, but I honestly think that it's going to be a very, 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 very close game. I think it's going to be kind of slow in the beginning. Both defenses kind of figuring each other out. Both offenses figuring each other out. Chess match. And then it'll pick up quite quickly towards the end of the second quarter. But again, Todd Gurley plays a huge role in this, regardless if they're stuffing him in the middle or not. I think, he demands so much attention that he's going to free up the wide receivers. And, we'll see.
Yeah, because even then, The only time Jared Goff's gone against 2 top 10 corners is with the Bears, and even in that game, they only put up not even barely over 20 points.
Yeah, I don't remember the Bears. Front line is pretty
No,
stout.
100%.
It's a different animal there, but
because the Patriots do have 2 top 10 corners with Stephon Gilmore number 1, and then Jason McCourty, who was ranked 7th this year. So I mean, they're both having stellar years, and what I'm thinking is you put Gilmore on Cooks because Cooks is their number 1 receiver.
Correct.
And then you put McCourty on Woods since he's like their number 2, and you make it contested for both of his top 2 receivers basically. And then you get Devin McCourty maybe on Higbee, their tight end, because he's the strongest tight end they have, or
Correct.
Everett. I mean, because remember he's still a rookie, so I feel like he's still learning a lot. So if you make him with hard corners, locking up his things, it makes all his passes more contested.
It's gonna be a little, like I said, Belichick's got his hands full. Goff has had success throwing the ball downfield. So, yes, you're going to have to shut those 2 guys down. But at the same time, he's got to pay attention to the run. So, it's a matter of, like I said, it's a chess game. I think the run is going to be their main priority. The Patriots like to get up in the game. They like to hold the lead. They like to control the clock. And they like to just continue holding the ball. Basically, ball control, time of possession is key for the Patriots. They want to get up and hold the ball and kill the clock and kill the clock. So not allowing the Rams to gain the lead in the beginning is going to be key in the Patriots' success. Because with a back like Todd Gurley, you know, he can kill the clock on you real quick.
Plus, they have C.J. Anderson, too. Who is by far one of the best additions they made during the free agency.
Agreed.
Even with that, though, I feel like it's going to be very hard. Just because if you look at the Patriots, they've dominated the time of possession every single game they've had. And I mean, not just dominate, dominate. I mean, double. Like, for example, Chiefs game was 41 minutes to 21. Doubled. And then with the Rams, they've actually been struggling. Even though they have a strong run game, they've been struggling with that. Where the Rams are 34 to 27 when it comes to their opponents. So I feel Sean McVay, he's aggressive. And even though they do like to focus on the run, people know that. So I feel like it gets harder for them to run. And Jared Goff relies on passing. And even when he passes, he makes deep, like he tends to throw deeper than short routes.
Correct.
So when he does that, I feel, he messes up, the clock stops. That's why I feel like they struggle so much. I don't think that's going to change with the Patriots.
Well, I agree. Like I said, it's going to be key for the Patriots to stop the run. Todd Gurley's the man. He's the best running back in the league. I don't think that's up for discussion. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of shutting down Todd Gurley. If the Patriots can shut down Todd Gurley, the Patriots got the game in the bag, really. Because they've got 2 wideouts. Everett, their tight end, the Rams' tight end is not really all that dynamic. He's made some nice catches and things
tight end is one of their weaker spots.
But they, he has 2 or 3 grabs a game. It's not their staple. They're not throwing to the tight end like the Patriots used to be, or the Saints with Jimmy Graham or anything like that. So. The way I look at it is stop the run for the Patriots and they can win the game. So,
even with that, what do you think about the Rams stopping the Patriots? Because the Patriots have been dominating when it comes to the run game with what's his name, Sonny Michel, who's having a stellar year. He's had 331 rushing yards, and in both of the playoff games they've had.
I don't think it's going to be so easy for Michel to be able to run on the Rams.
But, they do have Rex Burkhead too, who's averaging 7 yards.
I don't think it's going to be easy for anybody to run on that Rams front 4. That Rams front 4 is Ndamukong Suh. They're refrigerators. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be difficult for the Patriots to get the ground game going. But again, Belichick, Brady combo, they're going to always figure out a way. And once they gain that little bit of a lead, they'll figure out a way, cross lands with Edelman. And
Even speaking on that, even if the run game doesn't work, I feel like they can still kill them just because the Rams, they tend to struggle when it comes to containing screen passes and under routes. And Patriots are number one with James White when it comes to that, who's averaging 146 yards per game. And I feel like they'll struggle.
Again, well, that goes back to the Rams' front four stopping the run. So that's going to be a key factor. Those small, short, intermediate passes that Tom Brady thrives on, especially in pressure situations, making the right read always, damn near. Those short, intermediate routes, intermediate passes are going to be how they continue to let that clock run down and tick, 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 and then hand the ball off. And they'll of course, Sonny Michel's going to break off for one or two nice runs, maybe a little bit more than that. But, I think that the front four of the Rams is going to be able to contain them for the most part. But those short, intermediate passes, Edelman, crossing the field, those are going to be the ones that the Rams need to stop. If they want to win this game, those are the big plays that they need to stop. It's not the run game. Of course, yes, you want to still stuff the run. But those short passes are what kill defenses, especially with Tom Brady in the pocket. He's going to make the right read each and every single time. And if you do not cover those guys, you're going to lose the game.
I definitely think that's going to be maybe the Achilles heel to the Rams, especially for the fact that, surprisingly, the Patriots' defensive line is performing better than the Rams in the playoffs when it comes to sacks and pressures on quarterbacks, as the Patriots have gotten 6 sacks in their past 2 playoff games, and Tom Brady hasn't been touched. He got touched, and that was after he threw the ball. He literally has not been sacked once all playoffs, and that's when going against Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa. I mean, the 2 best edge rushers in the NFL. And then you got D Ford from the Chiefs, Houston. I mean, crazy. And then you have the Aaron Donald, who hasn't gotten a single sack in any of the games. And they've only gotten 3 sacks total. And that was on a weak offensive line from...
big players show up in big moments, But at the end of the day, it's just a matter of, again, man, I'm beating a dead horse here. But Belichick always brings the best game plan for the team that he's playing against. So when it comes to blocking, even blocking, I mean, the offensive line, a lot of people think that it's such an overlooked portion of the game, blocking for the quarterback, protection for the quarterback, run blocking. It's something that you wouldn't think to speak about in something like this, but at the end of the day, it's a big deal because Belichick's going to come with his A game across the board in every facet, every phase, every crew. All of them are going to be ready to go. So that's, like I said, it's he's done it in the previous 2 playoff games so far, and it's going to continue this one, but.
Even with that, speaking for the Rams, I say the best thing the Rams can do is put Talib on Gronk, just because I feel like, Gronk, even though he always has slow playoff games or seasons, he's not the same Gronk. I mean, he always has a strong Super Bowl when he's in the Super Bowl. So I say put Talib on Gronk just because of size, and then put Peters on Edelman just because Edelman's the number 1 receiver. But even with that, Tom Brady completion rate of 71.1 in the playoffs to Goff's 58.8. So what is Goff is not really having the strongest passing game in the playoffs, and what you were saying, they would rely on the run. But even with that, the Patriots have 10 touchdowns in the postseason to the 5 that the Rams have, and that's facing a weak secondary from the Saints, because they have a weak secondary. Their strongest thing is the defensive line, and even with that, they only sacked Jared Goff.
We won't talk about that controversial missed call, but continue.
I don't know. Well, because what I'm seeing is even with the Patriots, they started off strong against the Chiefs with 13-0 by halftime. So if they're starting off this strong, and they get ahead of the Rams, like you said, they're going to dominate the time of possessions. I feel like the Rams aren't going to be able to fight that.
I agree.
If it comes into that.
100%. I agree 100%. There's not even a question about that. They're going to figure out a way to kill the clock, get ahead for a little bit, and then just milk the clock. I mean, I still think it's going to be a decently scored game.
Oh, me too.
It's two of you got number 1 and number 2 offenses in the league. Points are going to get scored, but I still think I think the Patriots are going to come out on top. So I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like the Patriots, even when they are getting like slowed down and shut down because remember, even the Rams, they're not performing the best defense, but they do have big names such as Marcus Peters, who's a ball hog, and then Akeem Talib, who in my opinion is one of the best press corners in the NFL.
Correct.
So I'm seeing tough, but
Peters has gotten exposed.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Because the thing is that he's a
bit.
ball hog, but the reason why is because he makes guesses.
Correct.
So
he does.
The ball's coming in, he makes a guess on the ball. If he messes up, then
he's very good in anticipation, but he does get burned quite a bit.
Yes.
So when his anticipation is not on point, he will get burned.
And that's when
he was
Patriots
exposed
are
in the
gonna
last
beat the
game.
Kings.
So and they kept trying to go at him and go at him and go at him in the Saints game. So I don't know. I hope the Patriots don't win. I don't want the Patriots to win, but I think they're going to win.
Brady 6.
Yeah.
So that's about it for what we have. And prediction score. What do you think?
So I am guessing 31-27 Patriots over the Rams. I just think, again, the Brady-Belichick combo, I think it's just too much to overtake. Is something, like I said, they're going to get ahead in the game. They're going to start running the clock, killing the clock. What happened in the NFC Championship game where the Rams came back on the Saints is not going to be in the cards in this game. Once the Patriots get up, they're going to stay up, kill the clock, and it's going to be a lot of points, 27-31, but I got the Patriots on this one.
I agree with the Patriots win, but my score is going to be 34-20. Just because I feel...
Interesting.
I feel that Tom Brady's going to throw
The Rams are number 1 in offense, though. How are you?
Number 2.
Number 2?
Chiefs were number 1, and with that, the Chiefs only put up...
But still...
31
20 points in the champion in the Super Bowl. You think that they're only going to drop 20? Oh, look all those notes. Come on. You don't have how many points they average?
5 touchdowns. I'm putting Tom Brady with 4 touchdowns this game, and that's still only 34 points.
I'm not talking about the Patriots. I'm talking about
I am too, because
Rams.
they only have 5. So that's half of Tom Brady's touchdowns. So if Tom Brady throws 4, Goff's only throwing 2. So I'm seeing Goff throws 2, maybe 2 field goals. 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns.
There's no way. First of all, like I
100%.
said, all right, that's your prediction, but I'm going to tell you like this. There's going to be a boatload of field goals scored. Especially in the first quarter, like I said, these two teams are going to be feeling each other out, chess match in the beginning. So there's going to be a lot of field goals,
Patriots
and then towards the end, they're going to be running a quicker game. Especially the Rams trying to catch up, and it's going to happen. I can guarantee you they will score at least 27 points. They're not going to win the game. Again, I hope they win the game, but I don't think they're going to win the game, and they're going to score at least 27 points. At least 27 points. A lot of field goals, but 27 points.
I mean, then again, the Chiefs have the most electric offense, and they only scored 31 on the Pats. But
Chiefs at number 1.
Who
was number 2? The Rams were number 2, correct? The Rams were number 2, and they scored, and the Chiefs scored 31. Come on.
Not in the playoffs, though. In the playoffs, the Rams only put how much on the Saints? They only put.
Yeah, look it up. Come on.
Give it 2 seconds. They only put 26 points on the Rams. I mean, the Saints.
Who did?
The Patriots have a better defense than the Saints, and they only put 26 on them, and that was 26-23. So that's
doesn't matter. You play. You game plan towards the team that you're playing against, right? You're not gonna game plan. This is not gonna be your game plan for all 16 games out of the season. You're gonna come with a different game plan each and every single game.
But even with that, with the Cowboys, they only put up. I think it was 16 points. Don't check me on that. But I think it was 16 points. It was not up to over 20 points.
It says 16 points.
They didn't go over 20 points. I know that for a fact. And that's what the Cowboys. Are you kidding me? The Patriots have a better defense, and they have the best mind in NFL history when it comes to the coach. Bill Belichick is the defensive mind.
I don't refute that. I agree with you 100%.
That's what I'm saying. There's
but
no
that's
way.
not the point. My point is Todd Gurley's going to score at least 1 touchdown. At minimum, he's going to score at least 1. And Goff has, even though Cooper Kupp is injured, he still has 2 weapons on the outside. Regardless of the fact, he still has 2 weapons on the outside. So he is going to utilize that. And Sean McVay is a genius.
No, don't get me
Sean
wrong.
McVay is
Offensive
pretty
genius.
smart.
Offensive genius.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the Patriots have the #1 red zone defense for the past, 4 years?
It doesn't matter. Just because they got an interception against the Seahawks on the 1 yard line? Come on.
What? I mean, I'm just saying. So don't get me wrong. I say Jared Goff makes
The Rams are not going to be no pushover.
Not a pushover, but 34-20.
That sounds like a pushover score to me, but whatever. You guys be the judge.
A little bit. I would. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if anything, I'll give him 24 points.
Don't change it now. Come on, stick to
24. I'll give him 4 more points. Tops.
Stick to your points.
24 points.
31-27. It might be 30-31, but
definitely
I'm
not.
giving you guys
it's
some credit,
It's not going to be a 3-point game.
McVay,
At least a
I got
touchdown.
you, bro.
They're having at least a touchdown over the Patriots. Are having a touchdown over the Rams.
No, I think it's going to be a 4-point difference.
I'm seeing 7 or more.
Okay. Well, make a friendly bet of $1.
I'll make it 5.
5. Let's do it.
You
guys saw it, right? Okay.
We'll have a recap video later in the week about the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you
Monday.
know when he pays me. I'll show you the money.
Monday morning quarterback. Or Monday afternoon, maybe.
Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment on what you guys think. Who you guys think will win? What points you agree with the most? Whose side you're on? This guy. Tune in, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Peace out.